Okay, so just now we had a glance of our course. Okay, so I'm happy to start with my topic initially, which is Indian polity. Okay, so keep heading, main heading Indian polity. Okay, then I mean my question is, what we gonna learn in Indian polity? What we are going to learn in Indian polity? First answers from your end, then I'll conclude. What we are going to learn in Indian polity? Constitution. Sorry, fundamental rights. Okay, fine, keep it simple. In Indian polity we are going to learn constitution, about constitution of India. Okay, so we're gonna learn about constitution of India. Okay, then my next question is, what is constitution? Set of rules and regulations. Okay, to administer the country. Okay, so there will be set of rules and regulations which we call it as law. By using law also we can administer the country. Then what's the difference between constitution and law? Have you heard of laws? IPC, CRPC, CPC, and recently anti-cheating examination laws. Okay, by using these laws also we are administering the country. Then what's the difference? What's constitution? Huh? Principles. Any other? Basic principles. Okay, we have a basic principles. All these basic principles we concluded in a book and we are calling it as constitution. Okay, now out of these basic principles, okay, we'll frame laws. In that laws we have principles again, but all the basic principles are there in constitution. Okay, so constitution is the basic book. Okay, constitution. See, notes making is an art. Follow me. Okay, constitution is the basic book. Which has basic rules rules and regulations, which has basic rules and regulations. Okay, so in bracket you can write it as basic principles. Okay, don't write it as a sentence, try to frame it in a tree diagram. Okay, diagrammatic form, that will look simple and easy to recall. Okay, so coming back to our question, what is constitution? Constitution is a basic book. In that book all the basic principles are included. By following those those principles, what our government will do? Will rule people. Okay, so now see. Okay, first see here, later you can write it down. Okay, we have constitution which has basic principles. By following these principles, government, what it will do? Government will rule the people. Okay, Note it down. So for the initial few days, like for a week, okay, I'll be going a bit slow, okay. I'll be starting from the basics, all the NCRT things, okay. If you guys feel like, okay, you are going very slow, then you can tell me and I'll switch my gear. Okay, see, when I say government, government will have three organizations, three pillars, okay. Executive, legislative, executive, judiciary, okay. See how it works. Government, which has three pillars. One is legislature, executive, okay. See what legislature will do. What legislature will do? He'll frame laws. Legislature means the one who make laws. Simple dictionary definition. Legislature means the one who make laws, okay. But while making the laws, okay, these laws must be in line with Constitution of India. If in case if they are not in line with Constitution of India, then this law will be declared as null and okay. So to declare a law as null and void, first they have to check the Constitution. If it is not in line with the Constitution, then what people will do? They'll declare it as null and void, okay. And second one is first first listen, then you can, I'll give you some time to note it down, okay. Second one is executive. What executive will do? Executive will implement the laws, okay, which means like legislature is giving power to executive by making laws. Now what executive will do? Executive will simply follow the laws, okay. If in case if executive following the law as usual, then that is not a problem. If he is not following according to the law, then we will call it as arbitrary action. What it is? Arbitrary action. If in case if he is doing any kind of arbitrary action, then people will stop him, okay. I mean those people, I'll come to that people word again, okay. If he is doing arbitrary action, then people will stop him, okay. See, he has to follow okay. Then last thing is judiciary. What judiciary will do? Justice, simply justice. See how it will justify the people. First thing is, if there is a arbitrary action of legislature, which means legislature came up with a law which is not in line with Constitution of India, then courts will declare it as null and void. I called as people, right? Now I'm changing the word. Courts will declare it as null and void, okay. And executive, whenever executive is doing something, it will check the law. It will check the law. If he is doing according to the law, then it won't do anything to executive. If he is doing against the law, I mean he is doing something which is out of law, then what we call it as arbitrary action of executive. Then courts will intervene and courts will stop him to do those kind of arbitrary actions. Okay, and the third thing is, like, if someone like you, me, citizens, okay, if citizens are violating law, if, I mean, then we'll call them as criminals. Criminals means, like, there is a law, you, I mean, we all have to follow the law. If in case, if we are violating this law, then people are called as criminals. Criminal is not that big word, okay. Criminal means simply, if you, I mean, like, you have to pay tax. If you are avoiding tax, then you are criminal, but civil criminal. Okay, you, I mean, you can't kill a person. If you are killing a person, then also you are a criminal, but criminal case. Okay, so criminal means simply there is a law. If somebody is violating that law, like you, me, general people, okay, general public, if they are violating that law, then we'll call them as criminals. Okay, so here judiciary will punish them. What judiciary will do? Judiciary will punish them. Judiciary will teach them a lesson, so that he'll never do that again. Okay, so here judiciary has three things to do. It will check the arbitrary action of legislature, which means whether the legislature is framing the laws in line with constitution or not. Second one is, it will check the arbitrary action of executive, whether the executive is following according to the law or not. And the third one is, it will punish the criminals. It will punish the criminals. Criminal means the one who is violating the law. Okay, so okay, so now note it down. In the government, basically we have three things. One is legislature, executive, judiciary. Legislature will frame laws in line with constitution. Okay, write down. Any questions? Clear? Okay, I'll repeat this again when I'll tell you about separation of powers. Okay, I'll repeat this once again. Okay, then put a heading, legislature. The one who makes laws. Write it down. The one who makes laws. The one who makes laws. Then executive. Executive. The one who executes or implements the laws? The one who executes or implements the laws. Third one, judiciary. The one who provides justice. The one who provides justice. See, from the next time, whenever I'll say justice, you need to recall 3 points. One is arbitrary action of legislature, arbitrary action of executive, and then to punish criminals. Okay? So now see, uh, we have our constitution, right? Constitution of India. See, I'll tell you the structure of Constitution of India, how it will be like. Just like your class notebooks or just like your textbooks, okay? If you'll open Constitution, in the very first page, what you'll find? Preamble, okay? Once you turn that page, you'll find all the parts, okay? Then if you'll turn, okay, there will be introduction of part 1 and you'll have all the articles there. Article 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? Then in the end we have schedules, okay? So structure, listen, then you can write. This is our constitution, let's say, okay? In the very first page, what we'll have? Preamble, then we'll have parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, okay, all we'll see, okay? And in the last we'll have, okay, write it down. Okay, so the basic questions which are asked in basic level of examinations are, how many parts we have in Indian Constitution? Any idea? 22 parts. Any other answers? How many parts are there in Indian Constitution? 22 only. 25 parts. 25 parts. See, we have 22 only, but in between, let's say part 4A also there. Similarly, 9, 9A, 9B. So you have to count those 9A, 9B also. Okay. So in conclusion, we have 25 parts. And how many articles we have in our constitution? 300? Okay. No. Any other answers? Just like we have in between parts, we have many articles in between. So in total, how many? I mean, see, the last article is 395 only. But in between, we have so many articles, which are which we got after amendment. Okay. So in total, in present day, how many articles we have? 600. 448. Okay. And how many schedules we have? 12 schedules. Okay. So this is our constitution. In the initial page we'll have preamble, and then we have parts. How many parts we have? 25. And how many articles we have? 448. In the last we have schedules. How many schedules we have? 12. See, difference between parts and schedules is, in the parts we have articles. Okay, in the articles we can't include all the things. Let's say, for example, I'm giving schedule 7. In the schedule 7 we have powers distribution. Okay, like we have a union list, state list, concurrent list. On the subjects mentioned on union list, only union can make laws. Okay, on the subjects mentioned in the concurrent list, both union can state can make laws. Okay, on the subjects mentioned under state list, only state can make laws. Okay, all these together we have around more than 250. We can't give all these 250 in an article, right? That's the reason we have put all these things in the end, in the schedules. Okay, the things which we cannot include in the parts, only because of the space issue, okay, we included in the last. Okay, that we call as schedules. So simply your Indian constitution is like a book. If you'll open the book, in the very first page you will find preamble, and then parts, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, and then introduction of each and every part, and in the last you will find schedules. Okay, so my humble request for everyone, I won't suggest, generally I won't suggest anyone to follow any book, Lakshmikant, DD Basu, because my class notes is more than enough. If you are a Christian, it's like a Bible for you. If you are a Hindu, then you are sacred book. If you are a Muslim, then you are sacred book. Okay, for your reason, I am not a Christian, guys. I'm an atheist. Okay, so my point is, like, this is everything for you, class notes. But I always ask my students to buy Constitution, Bare Act, because what I'm telling you, if you start reading Constitution before, you won't understand anything. You won't understand anything. But once after my classes, you'll understand each and everything in the Constitution. That will give you confidence. Once you have confidence, you can prove in your interview. Okay, so within a week, try to purchase Indian Constitution Bare Act, which costs around 120 rupees, I think. I mean, if discount is applicable, then it will come for 90 only. Okay, so try to purchase this book. Okay, write it down. Done? All? See, let's compare. I mean, we have a constitution, and by following constitution, people, I mean, legislature will make laws. Legislature will make laws. Let's compare both the things. Okay, like, I mean, just now we have seen the structure of constitution, right? We have parts, and in the parts we have articles. So in constitution will have parts. Under parts will have articles. By following constitution, legislature will make laws. Okay, so the structure of law will be something like this. In laws we won't have parts. We'll have, what will have? Chapters. We'll have chapters. Under chapters what will have? Under chapters what will have? Subtopics. Sections. Sections. Have you heard of this name? Sections. Okay, so simply if you want to compare our constitution with the laws, okay, then laws will have chapters, and under chapters will have sections, like section 144. Okay, in the newspaper you will see all these things. So this is the structure of a law. This is the structure of a law. These all things are basic things. Nobody in no exam they'll ask you, but in the interview they'll definitely gonna ask you. My experience I'm sharing with you guys. In the interview, for sure you'll feel like, okay, this is basic question, nobody gonna ask me. But in the interview they'll ask you only basic questions. They'll check your foundation levels, how strong your foundation is. Okay, so you might be feeling like, why this basic level questions? Actually necessary. Okay, then see, done. So now talk about law. Okay, before that, when our constitution came into implementation? 1950. Date? I have to fill. 26 Jan. 26 Jan 1950. 26th Jan 1950. Okay, so now we have two types of laws. How many types of laws we are having? Two types. The one which are already there before 1950. Okay, motor vehicles amendment law, all these things. Okay, and the laws which came after the constitution. Once the constitution is done, okay, we contested, we arranged elections. Okay, elections done, legislatures got elected, then we formed our parliament. Okay, now we are ready with parliament. What parliament will do? It will make laws. It will make laws. Okay, so now these people started making laws. So we have two types of laws. One which are already there. Second one, they came after the commencement of Constitution of India. Okay, so both these laws are now part of Indian. Both these laws are now part of India. The ones which came before, they are called as pre-constitutional laws. Pre-constitutional laws, which means before. Okay, and the ones